In the ever-evolving landscape of telecommunications, the history of scam calls weaves a complex tapestry of ingenuity, deception, and now, the pervasive influence of artificial intelligence. From the early days of phone fraudsters to the sophisticated AI-driven schemes of today, the journey of scam calls reflects the relentless march of technology and the dark creativity of those who seek to exploit it. The roots of scam calls can be traced back to the advent of telephones themselves. In the early 20th century, as telecommunication networks expanded, so did the opportunities for nefarious individuals to exploit unsuspecting victims. Simple yet effective schemes such as lottery scams and fake charity solicitations plagued households, preying on trust and goodwill. However, it was in the 1960s and 70s that scam calls truly began to proliferate with the rise of telemarketing. Legitimate businesses used telephone marketing to reach customers, but it didn't take long for unscrupulous actors to join the fray. Boiler room operations became notorious, using high-pressure tactics to sell everything from dubious investments to fraudulent products. In recent years, a new player has entered the scam call arena: artificial intelligence. AI-driven scam calls represent a significant evolution in the sophistication and effectiveness of deceptive practices. These AI systems are capable of generating highly convincing, natural-sounding voice interactions that can fool even the most vigilant individuals. One notable example is the rise of AI-powered voice phishing, or vishing. Scammers use AI to mimic the voices of trusted figures, such as bank representatives or government officials, to extract sensitive information from unsuspecting targets. These calls are not only convincing, but can adapt in real time, responding to the victim's questions and concerns. These calls may sound very professional, but always remember to stay calm and do not engage with the caller. The IRS does not make threatening calls or demand immediate payment over the phone. Hang up and do not provide any personal or financial information. What to do if you find yourself on the other line of this type of call? Report the call to the Treasury Inspector General for Tax Administration.
Hello, this is your bank calling. We've detected unusual activity on your account.
You owe back taxes. Failure to pay will result in immediate legal action.
Another example of a scam call is one where the caller is using an AI voice. If this is the case, hang up. If you suspect a scam, hang up immediately. Do not engage further. Do not provide information. Avoid giving out personal, financial, or sensitive information over the phone. If the caller claims to be from a legitimate organization, hang up and call the organization directly using a verified number. Report the scam. Always report scam calls to the FTC, your local law enforcement, or relevant authorities. This helps prevent others from falling victim. Educate yourself. Stay informed about common scam tactics and share this knowledge with friends and family to protect them as well. Remember, scammers often use fear, urgency, or familiarity to manipulate their victims. By staying vigilant and informed, you can protect yourself and others from falling prey to these deceptive practices. Now that you understand a bit of history about scam calls and AI, as well as how the two have merged together, creating AI voice impersonators, let's dive deeper into more recent events that has caused President Joe Biden to go head-to-head with artificial intelligence. According to a recent article by the Associated Press, residents in New Hampshire have been bombarded with deceptive robocalls purportedly from President Biden, urging residents not to attend the state's primary. The calls, made using AI technology, featured a voice that closely resembled Biden's, claiming to be him and suggesting that the primary was already decided. This deceptive tactic aimed to discourage voter turnout and manipulate the democratic process. Authorities are investigating these AI calls, highlighting the growing concern over the misuse of technology in elections and the need for vigilance against such manipulative practices.
I couldn't believe it when I heard the voice. It sounded just like him.
The call was so convincing, I thought it was a genuine message from the president.
President Joe Biden's plans to sign an executive order aimed at curbing robocalls and scam calls. The order directs the Federal Communications Commission, FCC, to consider creating rules that would limit unwanted calls and texts from overseas, as well as requiring phone companies to offer free call blocking services to consumers. Additionally, the order calls for the Justice Department to investigate and prosecute illegal robocallers. These measures are part of the administration's efforts to tackle the persistent issue of unwanted and fraudulent calls that plague millions of Americans. So, who was behind the calls? According to CBS News, Steve Kramer, a creator and entrepreneur, recently made headlines for his controversial use of artificial intelligence to impersonate President Biden. These sophisticated AI voice impersonation calls are causing confusion and concern, with some even falling victim to their manipulative schemes. But what's truly alarming is the ease with which these malicious actors can deceive us. The technology behind AI voice impersonators is advancing rapidly, blurring the lines between reality and deception. This type of technology allows scammers to replicate voices with astonishing accuracy. They can manipulate audio clips to say anything, leaving unsuspecting individuals vulnerable to exploit.